Slot On is one of Warlord's unique features. When activated, the Slot On feature, it channels raw energy from the Warlord world, boosting stats and reshaping the player's body. The form's completely unpredictable, varying by player, which is why most users often call it Rampage mode. Now the real fight will begin. The werewolf charges and continuously attacks with his claws, but Hyrcan dodges every single one of them since his stats have increased. While fighting, he predicts that if only 3 hits from the monster successfully lands on him, he will be done for. But in the next moment, he smirks as he lands a clean hit and successfully scratches the werewolf. Instantly after dealing the blow, Hyrcan stumbles due to an attack from the werewolf. Hyrcan says that he completely forgot that this corrupted werewolf is still in enraged mode, so small scratches like the previous won't matter much. At that moment, our Skelly jumps in and slashes the werewolf's hand. Hyrcan gives Skelly the signal for their next move, which they practice together. Both of them simultaneously slice up the werewolf. They completely slain the monster, and the slot-on system deactivates. Now it's reward time. Firstly, he gets 10 gold for the normal quest, since the skeleton warrior has slain a high-level monster. Its bone shard skill gets upgraded to rank E, and for this secret dungeon, they have obtained 20,865 G, the werewolf skull, and the werewolf skin. Moreover, the necklace of the corrupt tracker. It enhances class-related stats all stats by 18 points. More shockingly, it's a chronicle unique grade item, which is at a higher level than a regular unique item. Lastly, he notices the title Corrupted Tracker given to him. The system informs that he has now acquired 3 new titles. The Rising Star, which was expecting, and it's the main reason he came here. Then he got the Challenger of Heroes title. It makes sense since he did solo the instance dungeon. Lastly, the Corrupt Tracker. As far as he remembers, this is the introductory title for the first chapter of the main quest, the Corrupt Count, the main quest. It constitutes the backbone of Warlord's world, a crucial storyline, and because the rewards are insanely good, every player wants in no matter what. It's Warlord's core content for players. Hyrcan can't believe he got this title this early. This isn't just luck, he has practically hit a jackpot. Then, he happily logs out. As he wakes up in the real world, he sees the breaking news live stream that the Hydra Guild has officially entered the final stage of the Corrupt Count scenario, and they expect to clear it in 3 months, and that's how his jackpot became useless. He bumps his head into the table, saying that if they are already on the Count scenario, then there's nothing for him to grab. He guesses that he has no choice but to sit this one out and aim for the next chapter. Suddenly, he realizes that actually, maybe this could be the perfect opportunity. Right now, the entire world is focused on the Corrupt Count. It's Warlord's first ever main quest that's about to be cleared. So, if he uploads his video about the Corrupt Count, it's bound to be viral. Now he just needs someone to edit it. But editing is key. He can't just hand it off to anyone, which means there's only one person for the job. The legendary editor from his past life, filmmaker Romani. Presently, Romani sees the video editing request from the ID Hyrcan at level 15. At first, she looks down on Hyrcan for being just level 15, so she just clicks the video for fun. But in the next moment, she jumps out of her chair, she gets excited and smiles since she got her muse. Currently, Romani is a freelance video editing. She also goes by the nickname Hell's Loudmouth. In the next scene, we see a man running since he got called by his director. The lady director says that she looked into a new video about the Corrupt Count that just got uploaded and it's interesting. A level 15 took down a corrupt werewolf solo. The man says that their team also reviewed it. But corrupt werewolves are low level, so they didn't think it was worth tracking. But the director says that she liked it, she wants it, and she tells him to bring the information, revealing her face. Well, she is Ceolian Che Iris of Thunder Enterprises, the number 1 business conglomerate. In Warlord, she goes by the name Thunder Queen Sil. The next day, when Jaehyun wakes up, he sees that the video he uploaded yesterday has already reached 6,000 views. It took him a couple of months to get to this many views in his previous life. He notices that another thing that has changed is that Romani reached out to him first. Jaehyun doesn't know Romani's gender, so normally he says that Romani doesn't reach out to people first because he's supposed to be a mysterious character. Then, Romani asks for content of the next video. Actually, Jaehyun also wonders about that. He doesn't know what he should do for his next video, and there's no way he is gonna find a monster like the corrupted werewolf again. That's why he says that people need to start making videos when they are at least level 50. But what can he do? He asked himself. He says that he just needs to strike the iron hole, it's still hot, and he logs in. Meanwhile, Matador Shev praises Hercon for his movements. He says that it's impressive no matter how many times he watches it. Then he notices that the person Hercon oddly looks familiar. At that moment, Yell, a player affiliated with the Red Bulls, appears asking, "Who looks familiar?" Matador replies that he is talking about Hercon from Heiho Mask, who has been a hot topic recently. Yell tells Matador that he has been seeing the video of Hercon many times now, so it'd be stranger for him to not look familiar. Matador then starts to blabber. He says that this game makes the players feel like they are moving in real life, so when they play for the first time, they tend to be timid with their movements. Yet that's not the case for Hercon. And the way he trained his summon, it's on a different level compared to other necromancers. He even says that he wonders how it'd feel like fighting him. Yell makes a stop to his blabbering. She tells him to get back inside if he is just gonna blabber about useless topics. She informs that they are going live in 5 minutes. As he is making his grand entrance, the arena judges introduces him by saying that over 200,000 people bought live tickets to see him. The leader of Red Bulls and the man ranked 9th in Warlord, Matador Chev. They announce that a dungeon gate will be spawning soon and they start the counting from 5 to 1. Matador Chev orders all the members to prepare for battle. At the Raiders Association, Figgis Castle branch, our MC is again shocked and disappointed. He bangs his head in the table since there are no quests here. He expected this to some degree, but how could there be absolutely zero good quests? He thinks and guesses that he needs to put a hold on making more videos for now. At that moment, a person comes in, saying that he recognized Hercon from afar, since he is the adventurer who cleared the cave of Bima Mountain Dungeon. He introduces himself as Hotan and asks for some time to have a small conversation. Inside his personal room, Hotan says that he heard all about it, that Hercon found a mutant in the cave of Bima Mountain. Meanwhile, Hercon is thinking that he doesn't remember there being such a quest where he would get a mission from Hotan. So, what's this all about? He wonders. He says that he did see a werewolf with strange eyes. Hotan explains that as he thought, there's a high chance that Hercon encountered a monster that has been exposed to the power of the Corrupt One. He says that his team haven't figured out exactly who they are, but it is certain that their power is causing monsters to go on a rampage, and that many have fallen victim to them. Seeing an opportunity, Hercon immediately grabs Houghton's hand, stopping him to speak any further. Hercon, with sparkly eyes, says that he would like to assist in capturing that lovely, he means the evil bastard with everything he has got. He is thinking that it is a hidden quest, so he must take it no matter what. That's why he doesn't let Hotan speak and takes the quest voluntarily. Hotan happily accepts, saying that, if that's the case, he will give Hercon a chance based on how well he does. He informs that there is a person named Ahimri at Bangsu Castle, which is east to Figgis Castle. He will be able to teach Hercon, and Hotan will write him a letter of recommendation. After coming out, he shouts in happiness, since he really got a quest to become Ahimbri's student. one of the 7 disciples of the great mage Bokan, is the NPC Ahimri. All mages want to meet him because he provides the most rare skill books. In other words, he's a very important NPC. He starts to run and thinks that he probably got this opportunity because his Rising Star title overlapped with the Corrupted Count main quest. If he does well, he won't ever have to worry about video materials from now on. His feet suddenly come to a halt. He smirks as he says that he almost forgot that there was something he had to take care of before he did this. He then goes into a forest, in a quiet place, and activates Skeleton Fragment. He says that he hasn't taken a look at his rewards from his last battle. At first, he decides that he will use the werewolf's skull that he didn't sell off. Due to it, the skeleton warrior has gained the traits of a werewolf, which increases toughness by 2 points. Now he equips the necklace of the corrupted tracker, due to that. All of his stats increases by 18 points, and also class-related stats has been increased. He then, again, activates Skeleton Fragment, and this time, he is able to make another 2 skeleton. He tells them that from now on, the 3 of them will fight as a unit, and he orders them to get along with each other. While our number 1 Skelly feels betrayed, as it kneels on the ground screaming "No!" from its heart. Now, it's time for the hunt to begin. The next moment, the forest bear, which is at level 25, attacks him. Hurkan just dodges its attack since he wanted to aggro so that the Skellies can take care of the rest. Now, one of the Skelly attacks the bear head-on and gets smashed in a second. Hurkan angrily tells them that they need to attack the bear from its blind spot since predictable attacks don't work on it. Then he signals the next Skelly to attack, but it also does the same thing, which makes Hurkan extremely angry. He shouts, saying that he told to attack from the blind spot. He then sees that the Skelly number 1, which he acquired first, is doing a cool pose. It makes him blush, thinking that this guy may pull it off. Moments later, this skeleton also attacks head. Due to that, its head fall off. Hurkan is now angry and embarrassed to his boots that he shouts at them. After some moments, all of them hold their heads high up, with their head to make amends for their mistakes. "Do you guys even have brains?" he asks. He even answers them, saying that he geezes that they don't have. He takes a wooden stick and draws on the grass. He tells them to see. He says that when monsters get attacked, they'll obviously turn to the direction the attack is coming from. That's why attackers need to come in from their blind spot. "You all got it?" he asks. He sees that they have no clue whatsoever what they have done wrong. Hurkan thinks that it's great that his skill rank increased and he can summon 3 skeletons now thanks to the effects of Necklace of the Corrupted Tracker. But the problem is they can't work together. They all share whatever he taught one of them before, but because they haven't learned how to fight together, they don't know how to do it. He says that they cost triple the mana, but they're even worse than before. However, since he reached level 20, he geeses that he can't make fighting videos for a while. He tells them to get up because they are going to train until reach Bangtsu Castle. And here, he thought he would be able to leave the fighting to these guys while he sits back and relax, just like what a necromancer should do. He cries as he guesses that he can't avoid having to be on the forefront. At the Raiders Association, Bangtsu Castle branch, the players are hungry for the quest, so they target any player who comes out taking a quest to join the quest. Hurkan arrives at the Bangtsu Castle. He says that these players are exactly like hyenas, as they don't even try to work hard on their own. They only want to leech off of other people. One of these so-called players tries to have a conversation with Hurkan, but he ignores him. He thinks that he can't let them find out he is doing the Ahimri quest. He gives the recommendation letter to the manger to check. The manger confirmed it and tells him to go to the 2nd floor. The other players also tries to go with him, saying that they are on his party. As he walks up the stairs, he wonders what kind of reward Ahimri has for him. Is it something good since it's a hidden quest, he thinks? While opening the door, he decides that he is gonna form a long-lasting relationship with Ahimri. He looks that the place is so messy. "Who are you?" Ahimri asks upon showing himself among the mess, with dark circles in his eyes as if he has been working non-stop for a month. Hurkan introduces himself and says that he is here with a recommendation letter from Hotan. Ahimri praises Hurkan by saying that he still looks like a black mage trainee. So he supposes Hurkan is quite skilled for his level. Ahimri gives him the promised rewards, the 2 skill books, the bone armor, and the madness helm. Hurkan gets really happy since he received 2 skill books which look like super rare. But in the next moment, Ahimri says that their business is done here. So he tells Hurkan to leave this place. Hurkan thinks, why did the quest end so quickly? He didn't go through all this just to get a couple of skills. So he starts to blabber that he would do anything, and that's when he gets caught in a trap. Ahimri gives him a quest, while thanking him because it's a quest with no reward whatsoever, named the Egg of the Nest. After some time, Hurkan realized that Ahimri got the better of him. In the next scene, people see a person walking with gears and armors which look super expensive. The man in armor speaks that this is the place where he will meet the Haho Mask. After receiving the Egg of the Nest quest from Ahimri, Hurkan steps out of the room disappointed and says to himself that it is possible to be scammed by an NPC. He thought Ahimri would give a quest related to the main quest, but what the hell is this egg quest which doesn't even have a reward? He asks himself whether he really needs to do the quest, but someone listens to his words and realizes Hurkan is talking about a quest. Other people hear this and they all swarm Hurkan saying he has gotten a quest. Hurkan says he forget about these guys and thinks what he should do. He thinks whether he should kill them all, but before his thoughts could be manifested, a person in expensive armor throws all the people off Hurkan. He asks Hurkan whether he has a moment. He says he would like to talk somewhere quiet. Hurkan thinks who the hell this guy is and tells him to buzz off, but the man tells him to cooperate, calling him Mr. Haho Mask. They go outside in an alley to talk. The man apologizes to Hurkan for troubling him. He says that he felt they wouldn't be able to talk properly with people around them while removing his helmet. Hurkan, seeing the man's gear, deduces that the man has to be a ranker at least, but he can't recall him from his memories. He asks himself who the man is and how the man knows who he is. The man asks Hurkan that he is the Haho Mask, isn't he? Hurkan thinks that in these situations he needs to pretend like he doesn't know. So Hurkan bluffs, telling the man, "Who is this Haho Mask you've been talking about?" He says he followed the man outside because he wanted to talk, but who the heck is Haho Mask? The man asks, that didn't Hurkan just get a quest from an NPC named Ahimri? Hurkan asks the man who he is and why he should share information with him, saying it already pisses him off that he dragged him outside. Hurkan flips off the man and asks whether he is looking for a fight. If so, he should put his account on the line and just kill him. Hurkan tells him that he doesn't know who the man is, but all he has to do is pretend like he doesn't know. He thinks what the man's next move might be. The man extends his arm forwards to shake hands, apologizing, suggesting he has made a mistake. They shake hands, and Hurkan makes fun of the man, saying that the man is scared. He jokes, saying he is letting the man slide only this once, and starts to leave. The man in armor stands there looking at Hurkan as he leaves. Suddenly, another man appears beside the man in armor, saying he doesn't think Hurkan is the person they are looking for, and one thing is for certain that Hurkan is not a skilled player, because if someone has played Warlord for some time, they would know better than to carelessly reach out their arm with the War Watch. The person in the black clothing, who had appeared after Hurkan left, asks the man in armor whether they really need to keep watching around Ahimri. He says that the corrupt count quest is almost over. Even if someone were to find out now, what could they do at this point? The man in armor says that the Egg of the Nest quest is the main quest, so they shouldn't take unnecessary risks. The man in black says if that is the case, then he is getting back in position. The man in armor says he will see him later. Meanwhile, Hirkan was listening to the men talk from a window right above from where they were. Hirkan thinks that there are two of them, so they're definitely part of an organization, since they are working together. But if they were from a regular guild, they would have made a deal after telling me who they were. He says they're definitely not just average guys, testing Hirkan like that, so who the hell are those guys, he wonders. In the woods, Hirkan is sitting and thinking while his skeletons are training. He thinks that it is for certain that there is something more to the nest egg quest he got. He thinks that the men probably saw his video, and so they knew that Ha-Ho Mask would receive the quest from Ahimri. Since they let him go easily, they don't care who Ha-Ho Mask is. He says to himself that he doesn't know what's up with the quest, but if he continues like this, he is bound to keep running into them. He says that he can't even upload videos for a while if he wants to avoid them. He asks why crazy people keep ruining his life while laughing due to frustration. He says that Che Seolyeon alone is already too much for him to handle. In the next scene, we are brought to the place where Che Seolyeon's rig is, where she is greeted by her secretary Park Suji as she exits the game. Her secretary asks her how the guild entrance exam went, while offering her a bottle of water. Che Seolyeon, in frustration, asks sarcastically how not a single one of them could be useful. Her secretary, not knowing what to say in response, says that is scary. Che Seolyeon asks her whether there are any updates from the Ha-Ho Mask she mentioned last time. Park Suji says that they seem to have entered another guild since they haven't responded yet. Hearing this, Che Seolyeon crushes the water bottle in her hand in anger. Park Suji says she will look into it again, being scared of Che Seolyeon's anger. Che Seolyeon tells her to come back when she knows for certain. After saying this, she goes to change and asks Park what the president said. Park says he hasn't said anything yet. Che Seolyeon says he is not saying anything because Warlord is doing so well. Che Seolyeon changes into a skirt and shirt and says the president tried to forcefully arrange a marriage when she first told him about playing this game. Meanwhile, Park is fascinated with Che Seolyeon's figure. Che Seolyeon tells her to get a new set of applicants and report back to her by tomorrow morning. Park says tomorrow morning is too soon, but she escapes the room before Che Seolyeon gets into a bad mood. In the next scene, Hirkan arrives at the lizard swamp and says it's been a while since he last came here. He thinks that Ahimri is currently in Bangstu Castle, so the quest should be around this region. He says that since the quest was related to finding an egg, it had to be either a bird, reptile, or insect-type monster, and narrowing it down to places he could go with his current level, the lizard swamp was the only place. He calls a skeleton of his and says that the monsters here are high level, so he should probably use the enhancement skill he learned last time. He reads the skill window, and the skill is called Madness Helm, and he needs to draw an engraving on the target's head and cast a spell to activate. So he draws an engraving on the skeleton's head. Immediately, the skeleton starts to emit a red aura and grows horns. Hirkan says that is sick. He says that he needs to test it, so he tells the skeleton to come and attack him. We are made to notice a special note in the skill window that says that there is a chance that the summon loses its sanity. The skeleton goes to attack Hirkan at full speed, but in the next moment, Hirkan punches the head off the skeleton. Hirkan says how dare the skeleton just scream at him. Hirkan wonders whether it is some kind of bug. He says he doesn't think anything has changed and feels like it is a scam. Suddenly, Lizardman level 30 comes out. Hirkan thinks that test subjects have arrived just in time. He uses Helm on the skeleton, which increases the summon stats and increases the current increase rate by 1.2 times. He uses bone armor that equips the summon with armor. Currently available to summon is chest plate. The skeletons all gain the skills and go to attack Lizardman. The skeletons rush behind the Lizardmen and kill them, and the skills level up. Hirkan thinks that is great. He tells the skeletons that for the next week, they will be hunting down monsters, looking for the egg, and if it isn't the quest region, then they will go elsewhere and they set on. Meanwhile, behind them, a girl is watching them. The girl introduces herself as Ilya and calls herself a top-tier beauty. She says she doesn't want to say it herself, but it is the truth, so she can't help it. She says everyone like her no matter what she does. Ilya says that is why her life has been so easy, because if she acts troubled, then her slaves will step up and help. She goes to run, but trips and falls on her face in a puddle. She says she hates this stupid place in frustration. She says that one of her slaves brought her here to help her level up, but he ended up dying right away, so she is stuck in the place. She cries, thinking the monsters here are too high level, and it is hard to walk around, so she thinks whether there is anyone she can trick into, and suddenly she spots Hirkan. She thinks to herself that she has found a new slave. She gets closer to Hirkan and acts as if she is in trouble and calls for help to get Hirkan's attention. She acts innocent, saying she hurt her legs because of these monsters. She thinks in her mind that it probably hurts Hirkan to see such a beautiful lady in pain, and he can't resist wanting to help. However, in reality, Hirkan doesn't give even a shred of attention to her pleas and walks away. Ilya thinks how he can ignore and leave a top-tier beauty like her injured. She calls him again for help, but Hirkan says she is another crazy person. She bites her lip in anger till it bleeds and says how dare he ignore her. Meanwhile, Hirkan and his skeletons move forward, killing monster after monster. Ilya doesn't quit and moves along with Hirkan acting injured, and Hirkan thinks that she is annoying. Hirkan says that he was ignoring her because he didn't want to waste his time, but she keeps following her. He curses her in his mind, saying if someone is in a game, then they should play the damn game properly, because the faces of the betrayers come to his mind. He thinks it will be faster to just deal with it and asks what she needs help with. She acts innocent and says she dropped her sword in one of the swamps while hunting and asks his help to retrieve it. Hirkan says she better buzz off once she gets it back. She says of course and thanks him, saying she won't forget his help. Meanwhile, in her mind, she is scheming something against Hirkan. She shows Hirkan the sword and says without him, she would be dead. Hirkan says it is fine, but she must not forget about her promise about leaving after he gets her the sword. He orders his skeletons to get it. Once the skeletons leave, she thinks that a necromancer is nothing without his summons, so she attempts to attack Hirkan from behind for ignoring her, but Hirkan turns around saying she is too slow. He grabs her by her collar and throws her into the swamp. She says he won't get away after doing something like this, as her bodyguards can destroy Hirkan in no time. Hirkan laughs while telling her to look behind her. Behind Ilya, lizard men appear and they attack her. Hirkan taunts her, saying she should have done a better job to scam him, and says he saw through her right from the start, as he has had enough of being scammed. He calls the skeletons to leave, but notices the skeletons practicing charm. He tells them to stop learning weird things, or he will kill them. Meanwhile, Ilya dies and Hirkan receives points for killing her. He laughs, thinking about when she said her bodyguards will kill him and says someone like her doesn't have bodyguards. Meanwhile, some simps of her whom she calls her bodyguards are watching Hirkan leave after killing her on a screen in anger. One of Ilya's simps attacks Hirkan, but soon gets neutralized. He calls Hirkan Miss Ilya's enemy and says he needs to take revenge for her. Hirkan asks him why he is going so far for her because it's not like he is getting anything out of it. He asks him whether he thinks she will go out with him if he avenges her, and asks why he is obsessed over a woman he met in a game. The man laughs like a maniac loudly and says that it is because he loves her. Hirkan kills him, calling him a joke. He thinks that he didn't take her seriously, but it turns out to be true what she said. She used her crocodile tears to convince her simps that she only asked for help, and Hirkan attacked her. Since then, Hirkan has started to run into crazy people like this guy every day. Hirkan says he is already anxious enough because he can't find quests, and now he has a bunch of simps after him. He thinks whether he should find that woman and kill her again. But he changes his mind, saying he could get himself into even bigger problems. He finds a watch on the ground belonging to the girl's bodyguard and picks it up. The game notifies him that he has obtained an ownerless war watch, 5011G, Goblin's leather boots, and the necklace of promise. Hurkan thinks that the necklace of promise is a rare item that can be sold for Book 1. He gets happy to receive these items and says love is great and thanks the simps. He kisses the watch, saying he can finally have a fancy dinner today. Meanwhile, another simp arrives and says he has found Ilya's enemy. Hurkan proudly proclaims that he is the trash that killed Ilya and welcomes everyone. But when he looks at how many people there are, he becomes speechless. He runs, seeing so many of them. They chase Hurkan, and he wonders how there are so many people obsessed over that woman. He orders his skeletons to attack. One of the simps kills a skeleton using what he calls the skill of love. Hurkan thinks that they have higher level than him, and there are a lot of them, so he won't be able to fight them head-on. He quickly jumps and runs while saying that they are all dead once he levels up. He somehow gets rid of and hides behind a tree while panting. He thinks that it's hard to shake them off because he is underleveled comparatively, so he needs to keep moving. He then looks around and wonders where he is, as the place seems different from others. He says he doesn't remember such a place being in the lizard swamp. He says he has been looking around the area for days, but this kind of black swamp was never. But he realizes something, and we are kept as a suspense as to what it is. Meanwhile, the simps of Ilya are looking for Hurkan. One of them spots Hurkan's skeletons dancing. They get angry as they think that he is insulting them by making his skeletons dance. The person that previously killed one of Hurkan's skeletons charges the skeletons again, saying he won't forgive Hurkan. Before he could touch the skeletons, suddenly a huge monster appears in front of them. The monster eats the person who charged at the skeletons. The people realize that the monster is the boss monster of the lizard swamp, called the dragon lizard, which is level 40. This is what Hurkan realized before, that the quest was referring to the dragon lizard's nest. The dragon lizard is a boss monster with overwhelming defense, health, and attack, which takes a party of 20 players with an average level of 40 to barely be able to hunt it down. He says that from what he heard, the dragon lizard raid was completed a while ago, and normally this boss wouldn't be here. However, if someone with a related quest enters the field, the monster will respawn. In other words, since the dragon lizard is here, then it means that this is where Ahimri's quest takes place. He thinks to himself that Ahimri sent him here to defeat the boss and bring the egg back even when he is just a level 20 player. He gets angry as to why Ahimri would do something so ridiculous. But lucky for Hurkan, he was able to gather some good teammates in the form of enemies, so it should be fine. The enemies say that the dragon lizard is too much for them, so they should retreat. However, Hurkan blocked their way using his skeletons. Using the enemies to keep the dragon lizard distracted, Hurkan runs to the nest. He thanks his apparent teammates for their sacrifice and moves quickly to rob the nest. He reaches the nest but gets shocked to see nothing resembling an egg. He looks around but finds nothing but a suspicious object that resembles a stone rather than an egg, and there is nothing else that even remotely resembles an egg. Meanwhile, his skeletons have been destroyed, and he realizes that the dragon lizard must be coming back after detecting an intruder. The boss returns to the nest, but Hurkan hid himself in the meantime. He says that now that the dragon lizard is back, he can't search through the nest again, so he has no choice but to bring the thing he found, even though it's not an egg, according to him.